Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning everybody, I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is the show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Man, your shirt is really popping. Nice shirt today, Pedro. Hello everybody in the Discord chat room. We're hanging out there during the live show, so if you folks want to join us, please do so. I'm going to fix our screen here while Pedro shouts people out, because this is what happens every morning.
Giving shout outs to everybody hanging out in the chat rooms. We are on discord.gg/Adafruit in the live chat channel. Giving shout outs to everybody hanging out. We got Mattable, Mark Gambler, we got everybody in the YouTube chat as well.
Hey folks.
We also got people hanging out on the Facebook live broadcast. Twitch, we're on Twitch as well.
Yep, LinkedIn is still working. Hello, LinkedIn.
Periscope as well.
Beyond. Excellent.
So good morning to everybody hanging out in all of the socials. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Okay, we're going to kick it off with some housekeeping stuff in the beginning. This week we got some stuff for you folks. So Black Lives Matter subpage here on the Adafruit website. Our call to action this week is to go vote. So we have a couple of things we want to share with you folks about voting. And the first one is we want to bring attention to Scott's project. He worked with some other folks on it. This is election. So if you're from the States, definitely check this out. electioncal.us is the website. It's an interactive website where you can hover over this interactive map of the United States. We're in Florida, so click on that. And you can dive into your county and then get specific dates and when the last dates are for voting. So the last date to drop off an absentee ballot, congressional primary, the last date for election. This is also particular to our county, so we encourage you folks to check it out and get started in voting and getting those dates. Now, another project with this is a pipe portal. Shout out to Alvaro for putting this together. This uses the data from the electioncal.us website, pulls it in and displays it on the Pi portal, which is a really great way to kind of have it on your desk and have it up there. And here's another link to the site. So that's really nice. And just yesterday, there was a new guide released by Colin Cunningham. It's a mini vote keyboard. Very, very awesome way to kind of promote and raise awareness to voting this year, as it's very critical. So definitely check this one out. Really a great build from Colin. It's always great to see stuff from him. He's got a really nice custom milled board that he used on his Bantam Tools desktop CNC. He also has the KiCad project file, so you folks can check it out and see how he put it together. And he walks through the build with beautiful photos of the assembly. So check it out. And definitely check out his keycaps. There are always some special things to learn from keycaps and that whole genre of funness there. Look at these great photos, man. I'm just enjoying that. I couldn't. Yeah, so definitely check those out. So that's this week's kind of call to action. Check out those sites and those projects. Yeah. Let's go to CircuitPython. The CircuitPython meetings happen every Monday at 2 p.m. It happened this week at Monday at 2 p.m. And we encourage you folks to come in and check it out. You can sit in, listen in, or watch the replay in any of the podcasting services. There's also a dedicated playlist here on the YouTube channel. But yeah, all fair game for whatever podcast app you'd like. So it happens live every Monday at 2 p.m. It happens in the Discord server under the CircuitPython channel, so folks can check in there. And CircuitPython Day is happening on the 9th, which is September 9th, 2020. We're gonna have a lot of events and live streams and things like that, and more blog posts happening, so we'll be talking more about it. And I'm sure tonight we'll hear more from Lamar and Phil on CircuitPython Day and what are some things we'd like to see and things we're planning on doing. Sorry. Newsletters, once a week, a newsletter goes out that's focused on the products that are added to the Adafruit shop from the weekly. So this one happens once a week. Again, adafruit.com/newsletter if you want to subscribe to that. And then for the daily newsletters, it's adafruitdaily.com. You can subscribe to whichever category of funness you'd like. And you can check that out by heading over to adafruitdaily.com. It's a standalone website. So check it out. The jobs board is still available, and if folks want to start looking at new opportunities, definitely check out jobs.adafruit.com. You can get a free account and create your profile, add your skills if you're a maker, or if your employer looking for some maker folks, you can create your job listing for free. It's all free to do so. All right, and again, that's jobs.adafruit.com. I think that is the morning.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's really fun project. It is the Neopixel Run LED Chaser.
This is a fun project. This was a bit of a recommendation from Lamar. She saw this post on Reddit and thought, hey, it'd be really cool to do a kind of a remake in CircuitPython. So we tagged Liz, and she wrote the code for this really fun chasing LED game. You've probably seen these. If not, they are normally in our they're in arcades, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese style restaurants and establishments. So this uses the Adafruit Feather and a mini skinny Neopixel strip and a battery and a switch and this button here. So the parts are relatively simple, and the point of the game is to press the button when the running LED lands on these target LEDs. There are 3 of them here. It's kind of hard because it's blown out here, but you can barely just make that out. So the point of the game is to hit the button when your LED has landed on these target pixels, and it advances, gets faster as you finish the level, and you get some animations when you complete the level. The color is changing as you advance, and the chasing pixel changes to the target pixel's color when you land and complete that level, which is pretty neat. It's all done in CircuitPython, and it's using the LED animation library. And the case is a snap fit together case that can be printed with no supports, as usual. Sometimes they do. Man, I'm getting really, really fast here. So I forget how many levels there are. I think there's like a dozen or so. But when you, oh man, it's getting really fast. And I lost. So the flashes red and plays sort of an animation when you lose, and then starts over again with the original speed. So it kind of resets back to normal. Let me see if I can adjust the aperture here so we can get a better look at these LEDs. It's a little bit better. It's so hard to capture LEDs. This is kind of what it looks like in real life. You can see the target LED there, and when I land on that, the chasing LED changes to the goal color LED, which is pretty neat. I missed it. And really, really fun with kids, the whole family. It's portable, you can move it around. It's got this cool kind of disc shape, identity disc, Tron style. It's really neat. And yeah, I'm just playing the game now at this point. I just want to play it. I really want to get to the last level. So if folks want to just watch me play, that's all great. These are always hard projects to do because they're too fun to play with. Here we go, here we go. Dang, so close. All right, so let's check out the Learn Guide, shall we? We head on over to learn.adafruit.com. You can see the guides posted up there with several of the ones. And over here, just walks through all the parts that are used in the project. This is the Adafruit Feather M4 Express, but you could use any any board really that's CircuitPython compatible. Go to circuitpython.org and browse all the different boards that you can play with. So definitely scalable in that. Same thing with the Neopixel strip. You could use whatever type of Neopixel, as long as it's a Neopixel style chip, it should work. This one is the fairly high density mini skinny strip. You could use a regular strip if you like, or you could use like those little dots too, and like kind of or wire your own strand if you'd like. We have several mini LED arcade buttons with a integrated LED. I actually just wired it up a couple days ago to the button here, but yeah, you can. It's a separate set of contacts for wiring up the LED. It already has the resistor in it, so you don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. They come in different colors. We're using the blue one, but here we have linked the green one, and there's I think a yellow and a white one as well. These batteries are in stock. These are nice little batteries that fit in lots of different tight spaces. This is the 420 milliamp battery, and it plugs directly into the Feather, and you can recharge the battery over USB using the Feather, because that's one of the awesome features that the Feathers have. There's some other odd bits like the slide switch, a JC extension cable, some quick connects, which are ideal for connecting arcade buttons, and we got our USB cable, of course, because you need to charge and reprogram. But those are most of the parts. Moving on over to the circuit diagram, it gives you a visual chart, visual drawing of the wired connections for the Neopixel strip. We're wiring it into the 3 volts ground and pin 6, but you can switch those up if you want to change it in the code. But yeah, very minimal connections here, not too many. And everything's broken out there. We're just powering it off the battery. You could also power it over USB if you'd like. All right, moving on over to the 3D printing part. Just a couple parts. I think it's just 4 parts here. It's a really nice compact parts list. It's only 4 of them, or 5. I can't count. It is 4. We got links for you folks. You can get the source file or the STLs from either one of these fine repo sites. And the design includes things like the battery, the Feather, the switch, and the arcade button. There are also standalone parts inside of our GitHub repo for all of our CAD parts. If you folks would like to check them out, definitely check them out. The next page just walks you through setting up your Feather M4 with the latest version of CircuitPython. This is great for folks that are just starting out. That way they can get a full deep dive and walkthrough on setting up CircuitPython on their board. And it has some lovely screenshots there. The libraries, this walks you through installing all the libraries from the bundle. It's fairly simple to do so. You can download the bundle from circuitpython.org/downloads. Unzip the file and pull out the required libraries that are necessary for this project. And this one, just a couple. We got the LED animation library, Pixel Buff, and the Neopixel library. So those 3 there. And here's the full code setup, again by Liz Clark. She put together nice comments as well, so folks can see all the different variables that you can change if you want to change difficulty or colors. It's all here uncommented. So check that out. And here's a nice screenshot of what your folder, your CircuitPy drive looks like with all the files in their spots. Code walkthrough is great if you folks are starting out with CircuitPython. This breaks down all the bits and explains them out here. All the states and variables and colors. Sweet. So check that out. For the assembly, we'll walk you through wiring up the LED strip, and soldering up the switch, soldering up these wires. Plenty of ground and voltage pins on the Feather M4 Express, which is really, really nice. I really, really like that. I'm always running out of ground and voltage pins on my Feathers, but not these. These Feathers are built for it. Yeah, so the main case has these built-in standoffs for the 4 mounting holes that are on the Feather, so it would fit any Feather. And the Neopixel strip just is strung on the inside of the diameter of the case. There's a nice little cavity there with a lip, a little ledge, a little flange, so the LED can rest on and chill out. To insulate the connections from the pads to kind of make it a fully kind of enclosed circle here, we needed to insulate those pads that are exposed there. So we use a little bit of Kapton tape, which if you search on the Adafruit website, you can just search for Kapton tape and you'll get the product there. We have these nice thin strips of Kapton tape. We didn't link it here because it's another thing to link, but we did use Kapton tape to insulate that. That's kind of a good one there. I've had shorts by doing this very similar thing when I did the coaster, the mirror, the infinity mirror coaster. I ran into that issue, and I should have used Kapton tape.
I want to reiterate that that happened because you clipped off the ends, so the pads you chopped off, and that caused problems.
It did, dude. It totally killed the pixel.
Do not do that.
Yeah, you can do it, but then you're gonna cut off another pixel. Mm-hmm. Oh, and it kept cutting pixels shorter and shorter to realize, like, oh, this is breaking because it doesn't have the pads?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird. I was cutting it too close or something. But in any manner, Kapton tape. The slide switch has a built-in holder here, which is nice. It gets mounted there by press fitting it in at an angle. We tend to do that with these slide switches. They're nice, small, and compact for these projects. The diffuser is press fitted over the LED strip and just kind of hangs out in there. It has a little bit of flex to it, so you just kind of press it down into there with the flange pointing up, and that way it stays in place. And that really helps soften the LEDs a little bit so that they're not so harsh and bare. Like, it kind of makes the colors more solid. And that's why we made it. There's an extension cable there. I actually trimmed it shorter than that, but you have plenty of room in the case to have like the full length of the extension cable, because the battery here is meant for like the Pi badge and Pi gamers, and it has a short cable, so that's why we have an extension cable. The mountain button, because it's such a low profile, this is actually kind of a neat thing here. Even with the tallness of the button, you still kind of have to bend these contacts short, so it has a low profile. But you do that. But what's really cool is I haven't seen something like this where instead of printing this entire case this thick, Pedro has this little sleeve here that elevates the button there, and then it just only leaves this much here for the leads, and that elevates it, and it kind of gives you more. It feels better this way, and I've never thought of doing that with an arcade button. So shout out to Pedro for making this kind of stem or sleeve or whatever you want to call it for the arcade button. Because we have these quick connects, they just quickly connect to the terminals on the button and the LED. If you want to wire up the LED, I have it wired as just 3-volt and ground, so it just stays on. But you could wire it to whatever if you'd like. And there you go. That's the whole build in a nutshell. It's a nice kind of simple build that you can build in probably a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The code is on GitHub and it's linked. We walk through it, and that's it.
So there's a lot of things you can add to it. If you take a look at the links that I posted on the inspirations for this, the Arduino version of this, the designer for this had a nice little scoreboard, so you can have like another strip up here to keep track of that. And then we have the ability to put like audio, like MP3s on there, like a stem speaker in there to have sound effects when actions happen, when you lose, when you win. And there is a bunch of expandability in terms of having things fit inside the case.
For sure.
So if we take a look at the inside, you can see that there is enough room to add more things that we just talked about there.
Yeah, totally. Stem speaker. That's a great little addition.
So one of the other tricks that we used too was actually having these holes in here, so you're not printing such a big flat surface like the lid. It's not going to take as long. You actually save about 30 minutes by adding like these holes in there for the print. And then the other tip on that was you already mentioned that the sleeve, when you're designing something, if it doesn't need to be so big, just have the part by itself. In this case, the sleeve be the thing that's actually being covered up, so you don't have to make such a tall case, because as it stands right now, it takes about 3 hours, I believe, at printing at like 90 millimeters a second to print just the case for
Large.
this.
Yeah, it's 200 millimeters in diameter.
One of the other things that you added to after the build was making this DIY USB cable just to have a little bit more easier access, because that it is right. Without it, you'll have to sort of play with the USB cable to try to reach inside of there. What I wanted to do was have like the micro USB breakout that we have mounted onto there, but again, that's feature creep. You can.
I didn't have them on hand, Pedro.
We also didn't have it on my
Kind of like
hand.
I was doing that, but sorry.
So yeah, that's something I was gonna do without knowing that we didn't have it on hand. But again, trying to get this out there in time, you don't want to have feature creep. But it is available and super easy to do. We have a nice diagram showing all the connections once you want to make your own USB extension cable in that form. And then the other thing was, yeah, you already mentioned it, bending the quick connects or the leads on it, so you can get your quick connects on there. Since you are going to have to sort of push this through when you first mount your arcade button on there. For the CAD stuff, we don't have a layer by layer on it, but just simple little nubs with inverted nubs on the other side.
Of snaps, but they work out.
Yeah, what I originally wanted to do was have a like a big ol' screw, a thread that would screw it in there, but then trying to line this up would be a little bit tricky. It can be done, but I just didn't want to deal with that and wanted to see if these little nubs would actually work. They're 1.5 millimeters extruded out, so not too big of a deal there in terms of the how much is needed to actually hold all of the whole case in place. Nice little tips there, and then the diffusion and the LEDs. These aren't actually glued down. There is enough tolerances to have those push up against the wall so they can stay in there. Same thing with the translucent diffuser that we added on there. So nice little build there. Like we were saying before, plenty of room for expansion. You have all this room over here for more electronics, like speakers, and your scoreboard.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see this with like one of the screens, maybe
somebody did mention that, yeah.
A playboard or something.
Yeah, it's something to keep track of score. Be a nice little addition to that.
Yeah, for sure.
You get all the files on the
links. Yeah, we got
on the repos.
I exported all the steps and Fusion 360 and stuff.
So you can edit that and get all the parts for that. Post all the links to that as well if you want to get all the parts, components to model this in your own projects.
Sweet.
All right. Super fun. One of those things where we definitely spent a lot of time playing this with the whole family and trying to get to that last level, which we haven't mentioned. It has a nice little rainbow animation that happens when you finally reach the end of the game, which is super hard to do. You can adjust all that inside of the code. Liz did a good job of adding the space where you want to comment that out to adjust the speed to make it a little bit easier or more difficult. Should definitely start it off as difficult so you can see how fast it goes. It's definitely a lot of fun when it is so hard to get that in there.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. It's the sound of the snaps doing their job. I like that you can kind of move it around as you're kind of looking at it. There's so many different ways that you can mount LEDs, and this is just one of many different ways, which I think segues into our prototyping stuff. I got a little fun Neopixel ring diffuser that I put together, but I got an idea by when we were working on this, which I'll show you after I lose the game or win the game, maybe. How are we doing on time?
Very good.
I lost. All right, so excellent. Let's go into the prototyping stuff. This is just like a quick one. Let's keep that open. So I've been wanting to make these kind of grid LEDs. Have you seen those grids of like of matrices that are kind of gridded out? So I was like, oh, what if we made one for the Neopixel ring? So this has like a little grid array and like all these walls here that kind of try to isolate each of the pixels. That way you get this really cool kind of grid effect. And I've seen that done with like, a regular square or rectangle, but this is doing it with the Neopixel ring. This is a 24 Neopixel ring. So this is actually running the same code with a little bit of a modification. So that's really neat. And then this bit here just press fits in. And it has these little cells that are extruded out, and they all press fit into the little, square chiclets here. And it's printed in 2 bases. They snap fit together. This is black so that it can mask out any light leaking. But yeah, I'm really digging the look here. I think if we sand this down, we'll get a really nice diffuse, because right now it kind of looks like it's got like this glass type crushed effect to it. And it's really, really low brightness right now. But we can play around with the brightness and whatnot. Just running it off a Feather with a little JST connector there. Pretty much similar circuit here. We're just missing the button. But yeah, that's a little thing I wanted to play with and see if that would work. And it does.
So a really cool thing that we saw that I think you want to add there as well is this this geometry on the top portion of that,
so cool, right?
adds this nice little look. It's sort of like a little pyramid, so it's going up. If you want to put bring that up, post the link in the
Discord. That's pretty much what gave me the idea, dude. I was like, oh, what if I could do that, but with the ring? And then just to kind of bringing that into Fusion and figuring that out was kind of fun. I'll probably do a little mini layer by layer on that, because I did it the wrong way and I crashed Fusion while trying to create this shape. I went about it a little bit wrong, but this is really sweet. We're going to share this on the blog too. It's a magnifier for a grid of NeoPixels, and it takes like this, let's say it's a 10 by 10 grid, and it flanges out, it tapers outwards and creates this really beautiful effect. Where can I see the effect?
I think it's where it's showing just the 3D parts of it. No, it's in there. It is. I think one more over. There you go. You can actually see the pattern. Yeah, it's like a little pyramid pattern that's actually creating the colors, the way that they're being diffused on there.
Right.
It's a really good effect. And if you look at the video, that's where
this is it right
that's
here, folks.
That's what you want to click on.
Look at that.
Look
the way
amazing
it
that
animates
is.
really, really cool this way. Yeah, so maybe I can try to flare that out and increase the shapes of the cells of the grid.
This is something we wanted to do when we were working on the Matrix projects,
That's
but this would
right.
be so huge.
Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense doing it with a smaller.
I'm all for
grid.
something that's already put together. For this one, it's the Neopixel Grid. It's already put together. You're not having to cut strips and assemble it, wiring it yourself. Because we've done that, and it's fun for custom shapes. But if you're just doing a square or a circle, like these Neopixel rings, it's great to just kind of work off of those shapes that are existing.
Yeah, we do have smaller ones. Maybe we can use like the Charlieplex Matrix.
Yeah.
Or the, what is it, the smaller one? What is it, 24 by 24?
I think we have an 8 by 8, don't we?
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking about.
Or 16 by 16?
Thinking of the 32 by 32.
By 32.
Yeah. But still good. We want something that'll fit on a lot of people's beds, and I really like the size of that
little one.
Smaller one.
Here's a... Is there a dent there now? I am so sorry about that. You should tighten all these screws. Here's what it looks like with the rainbow, with different colors.
So you can see it's getting there with having the diffusion grid on there. How poppin' each section looks.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, I'll
like
definitely
sectioning off each one.
I'll definitely try sanding this out to make it more smooth. But yeah.
Excellent way of creating a more isolated section.
Yeah, it'd be cool to kind of show a clock or a battery gauge or like the LED game.
Ooh, maybe this flexible 16 by 16 would be nice. So we have it like in a bent shape. Would be nice.
What did you search for?
Just Matrix on the store.
Yeah, here's all the different Neopixel matrices that you can play with. I mean, there's different matrices, but the Neopixel
here's an 8 by 8 one. Okay, this is probably a nice little compact one.
You put the order in? Let's order it right now with that.
So the ones we're looking at is probably this one here. The PID for this one is 1487.
Excellent.
This will match perfectly with
Great.
one of the name badges that Phil wanted.
Oh yeah,
to
that's a
do,
great idea.
So it'd be a nice little way to do that.
Nice pads. I like those.
Mhm.
You can daisy chain them
these
together and make a big one.
Look at that.
That's so good.
Prototyping during the prototyping section.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
None of this was planned.
No. I don't think I showed you this too. I did it last night. And I was like, oh,
I saw
yeah.
it printing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can figure like, oh, that's probably the grid thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny. That's what we were gonna do with the scoreboard project, but we're like, well, we have a matrix already. Let's just use that. So we went ahead and did that. Super fun. I love Neopixels. They're always such a pleasure to work with, and lots of different shapes to explore, even still with diffusing and whatnot. So I hope that inspires you folks.
And then some comments from Mr. Certainly Bruce in the Discord,
Yeah.
commenting on the Tron disk similarities of this.
Yeah.
Yes, that is actually
Let's
why I
repurpose
made it
it.
this way. Yep, this will be repurposed for that. The identity disk, for you guys who don't know, just look up Tron. It's like one of the props that are used. It's one of the weapons, so that has definitely been on the list for a couple of years. And now that we have all the parts, we'll definitely
That's
work on
funny.
that
That's
later in the
one of
year.
those. Yeah, nice low
Coming
profile.
soon.
I'm glad we have
Or a
these
circular
nice minis.
Cylon. That's a good one too.
Yeah, people say Stargate would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Although
Yep.
it's missing a lot of feature or a lot
Mhm.
of details, it could still be done.
Then, let's see, other comments over on the Twitch chat. Ivola saw Unexpected Maker
Hey,
working on
Sion.
Feather S2, so it'd be, is there a collaboration? Tune into the Circuit Python weekly chats and you can hear all of the
Okay.
projects that are upcoming and everybody that's working on that.
Excellent.
Get suggestions on that. But yeah, the S2 is being worked on. You can check out the GitHub repo and check out all the code commits that's happening.
Yeah, Scott does a deep dive every Friday at I believe like 3 or 4 p.m. And he shows his progress. They're hour-long streams, and you can really get an insight into his progress and how it's coming along.
And you can also help out too on any code suggestions, or if you have any other links for things that you should check out. He's always on the lookout for adding CircuitPython to yet another device.
Of course.
So definitely tune in and check that out for
Cool.
all of your S2 news. But yeah, there is a board in development.
All right. Well, other than Neopixels, we're playing still with solenoids. So I guess we're still prototyping the solenoid project. So the whole point was to kind of create a drumming robot with the solenoids, and we tried the little baby ones, the 5-volt versions, and we weren't able to get enough force out of them. So we're like, okay, let's jump it up to 12 volts. So we put that together, and our initial design still was kind of needed to be tweaked. So what we did is we reworked the mounting bits so that we have this this little kind of retainer for the solenoid, and then this bracket here gets mounted on top, and it has these two kind of let's call them arms that extend outward at a certain angle, and then there's this bit of a T shape that creates a link between the solenoid bit here and the pivot area here at the top of the mounting bracket. And then we just have this extension here that we kind of made our own mallet, so that way we can hit things. Depends on how high it is. So we're able to get some good sound out of it. I'll show you guys some more progress. I'd have to set everything up, but I'm kind of just showing you that the little bit of progress here. Got a rubber band here on the side here that kind of keeps it, it springs it back, and this helps right here spring that back as well. But yeah, I really like that the 12-volt solenoids has this this bit of a slit here so that it can be used in this way. I went ahead and wired up the ends here. I got rid of the JST connectors because these are just 2.1 barrel jacks. So I figured it'd be really neat if we could just plug these in onto the side instead of having to kind of connect all these JST connectors. So I went ahead and updated the case. This is the Perma Proto case from last week, but expanded, and then just these holes were added here for the DC jacks. They're all panel mounted. This is where you get the power in, and these are all the power outputs for these guys here. So we're gonna have an assortment of these printed out, up to four different instruments. We're gonna be hitting some snare drums, some kicks, and some hi-hats. So we're gonna make some stuff there, but it's coming together pretty nicely. I think it's ready for for documenting.
Yay.
Again, I'd show you a demo, but I didn't have it queued up. But yeah, that's a lot of fun in Fusion, coming up with the joints so that they pivot correctly. And yeah, that's what we're working on. Some progress on the solenoid drumming robot.
It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, all the code's already done. So yeah, we're looking, I think, next week.
I think one of the last things you were looking at is how to actually build a song, because we can't make a
Yeah,
project and
true,
not
right?
actually make something with it.
Yeah, I gotta
So
do something with
that's
it.
what the
Right.
progress
Right,
is
now that all
on
the parts are here,
Okay.
we need to, figure out the best placement. How do we get the best sound out of these things? Because we have this little baby,
Symbol.
baby's first symbol, and we put this little thing together so that we can hit it. It's gonna be great. So
Well, the song you're working on sounds really good, so some nice
Yeah,
beats
that's pretty
and rhythms coming
Yeah.
out.
It's pretty neat. I wonder if I could play it through my phone, and then y'all can hear it. It's so silly. Look how terrible this is. I have to put it on my phone. But yeah, you can hear the xylophone kind of playing. I think it'd be really cool to kind of have a demo too with the xylopi playing. Anyway, that's an interesting way to demo through my phone.
It's a guaranteed way to not have Wirecast crash on
Oh,
a clip.
gosh, yeah, there you go. Or slow down my thing. Excellent. Thanks for the props, Devo. Appreciate that.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, we got stuff. Let's make some space because we want to share the next segment.
And then shout outs to
Oh, wait, we
everybody
gotta do
showing
more.
off stuff in the Discord show and tell channel.
Yes.
There's a bunch of stuff in our project upcoming to-do list. It's like a mile long. And sometimes multiple people are working on the same thing, which makes us go, hey, let's bump this up in terms of timing. Like everybody's doing Halloween now in August and July.
Yeah, it's a
all the
great time to
store
start.
decorations already come out. And last year, Phil Lamar wanted a easy way to have those neon Neopixel strip like lights, nice way to like draw these. And Mr. Foamy Guy on the Discord chat inside of the show and tell showed off a nice little version that he's been working on. It's a nice little holder.
Do you want me to
And
pull it
then-
up in the Discord?
Yeah.
You said it's show and tell channel?
Yeah, show and tell channel, I think it's a little bit up. So Jeff Epler has been working on a nice STL viewer website. You can check out the whole explanation on, I think, last week's show and tell, I believe, where he goes on right at the end, so it's easy to find in the time code.
It's a little heart shape. Excellent.
Yeah, I think there's a, play that video. It didn't work on me. I don't know why the videos don't work on my browser.
I'm using
But-
Chrome. Yeah, it looks great, man. That's a really nice one too. Just a little heart shape.
Yeah, so the
Simple
thing...
shapes are great.
So a nice little holder, it's a clip, and Jeff Epler had made this very nice Lego compatible model. So he has all
Lego.
of the different angles, got the 15, 0, 45, 30, so you can build any shape. And printed these out, just a little working with the tolerance on there. After that, works great.
Right.
And the tolerance for that, holding on to like the strips, you can draw, like in this case it's going to be Halloween themed things, so like maybe a skull or something. So
Right.
excellent way to bring things that are in our project list up. And yeah, these work with not only the official Legos, but all of the 3D printed Lego
That's-
projects too.
that's
so,
great.
You know, bots will be very happy once
have some,
you get
yeah.
this into work.
Cool. Really, really neat to use the baseboard because then you can just make whatever kind of shape, prototype different shapes. Is this the same strip that we used in our Mickey ears?
Yeah.
Or is it different?
Where is that?
It's kind of chunky stuff.
Oh,
It's
I
very,
don't
very
think
thick.
it's in this room.
But yes, you can cut it and you can solder to it.
Yeah,
As
you can see the pads
there.
on there.
Maybe you can't, but trust me, they're there. And X-Acto knife. Be careful with it. But these are the edgelit ones, right? I think they're all edgelit. I quickly tried to pull them up on the site, and I came up with these 1 meter long ones. Is this the same product, or is this the chunky version?
We'd have to look, log into our account to see what has
Oh
been
wait, these are
purchased.
RGB, not Neopixel. You
Yeah,
gotta be careful
I would
with
go with the
these.
Neopixel ones, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the the super big ones. I'm gonna use like the.
These are the super big. God, boy,
the-
God, look how thick that is.
I mean, it's supposed to be for signs, so that's why they're so big. These are supposed to be like for decoration indoors, so I'm gonna use the smaller ones.
You can barely shave them now. You can shave them.
There. Yeah, look how big they are.
Yeah, where are the Mickey ear ones?
I think it's these little ones there.
This one. It's definitely this one. It has to say
Skinny.
Neopixel on it. Skinny Neopixel LED strip. Yeah, this is the one that we used. I think it's a little bit more pricier, but because of the thinness of it.
In quotes, thinness.
Yeah, we've only done one project with it. We definitely need to do signs and stuff. So
it looks so good in person, though.
Right,
like the
these
neon
Mickey
light.
ears are so dope.
Yeah,
they look great.
I really like how they
So
are
diffused and nice.
on the side too.
Right. So they're pointing. That was another benefit to have these. Is like they point forwards, and the person behind you isn't. Well, nowadays maybe it doesn't matter, but.
Oh yeah, and Devo is saying in the Discord that that would make a really good LED skeleton man. One of the reoccurring costumes, LED costumes that come up every Halloween.
The EL skeleton kids.
Oh yeah, it's a really good idea actually to have a sewable version of this.
Oh right.
Huh.
Great idea.
Lots of ideas.
Yeah.
I believe that's all we have for prototyping. I think that's like most of the show.
Excellent, but definitely gonna spend some more time here. As Chris Schmitz is working on an awesome project too.
Yeah,
Shout out Chris Schmitz, working on this really fun pop project here. I think he's calling it. It's a Wi-Fi connected display. Sorry, I'm like scrolling through it, and folks aren't seeing.
Yeah, there is so much stuff in there.
So
definitely check out the Discord at discord.gg/Adafruit.
Yeah.
We're in the live chat right now.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll switch back over, and then we're gonna do a community make.
Yeah. So this week's community make, this Timelapse Tuesday, is this awesome little toy.
Copter. Copter?
It's a finger pull copter. So
these are fun little toys from back in the day. You would get these from a bubblegum machine. The quarter.
So like everything from back in the day, it has to be redone, remodeled, so you can 3D print your own at home.
Oh, did you have a fail there?
Yeah. There's always fails with prints. So
it's
a couple different, it's like 4 different parts. You'll need like an M25 screw to connect that little base and the little rotating part. And then this sweet little blade that takes off when you pull it. It's like a little ring. That thing is so much fun.
That's cool.
Even though you have to go run after your little, what are they called? Little helicopter.
It reminds me of the helicopter Barbie that like flies into the fire thing and catches on fire. So let's take a look on the overhead here. This is a nice purple filament. It's shiny.
Yeah. Not the best adhesion though, as you saw. That's why this is a different purple color. So this is from. Who was it? Solutech. So not recommended. Not the best adhesion. Just this purple color. Their blacks and whites and all the other different colors I've gotten from there have been a lot better in terms of adhesion than this one. But it has a nice little shine. If you're not using it for any mechanical parts, it should be okay. Like for statues
and things. Pretty things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-functioning things, it should be okay.
Okay.
But for this, I'm surprised all of this works. So nice little teeth here. That is pretty much like a
ratchet?
Rack
and pinion?
Rack and pinion that is turning this.
Yeah.
So let's give it a go. Woo!
Oh. Ouch.
Because I knew that was going to happen, I have another one here ready to go.
That's great.
So excellent design here in terms of the mechanics that are happening on here.
Nice and thin.
Nice tolerance for this. I didn't have to really adjust anything, and I'm using the Curity printers, which I usually have to do like a horizontal expansion of at least 0.1 to 0.5, negative 0.1 percent on that, or not percent, millimeters on it. And it did a really good job of that.
Sweet. Printed in any color.
Yeah.
Shout out to agepbiz. And check him out on YouTube too. He's got his YouTube channel. Lots of fun projects. A lot of fun Lego builds too.
Of really cool projects. Yeah, I think one of his latest one is an update to his minifig. He's testing out some copper filament And yeah, nothing special for the print settings on this. I did have to use supports. I think he does mention it on one of these parts. It's where the little gear that rotates. It's just like I don't know, like 0.8 millimeters or something like that. So not needed, but definitely helps a little bit, and helps test out what your tolerances for your nozzle is.
Sweet.
And he has M2 that use like M2.5 just to create the threads inside here. So M2 to M2.5 should work.
Nice.
And if you go to the overhead, yeah, it's supposed to be like a ring. And actually, yeah, keep that open just so we can see it fly away. Let's see. Wait, which one?
Which one do you want? This one?
Hold on. Let's do it on the
big cam.
Yeah. Woo! Oh, there it goes.
Oh, it hits the fan. Flies into the fireplace.
Yeah, these things are so much fun, just having these fly all over the house. Should try this outside.
We have like these goals, and you'll try to like swing it into the goal or something.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, picky uppy.
So definitely recommended. Nice, awesome little print while you are quarantined.
Yeah, and shout out to agepbiz for throwing this up on Prusa printers. It's a good alternative.
Definitely add some tips on there.
It's up right now. It works.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Excellent.
So that's this week's really awesome community makes.
We have a few other ones. I'm just going to really go through them really quick. The magnetic ear savers.
Yeah, this was a really cool one too.
Man on Thingiverse posted this make of it. It's circular, so you can bend it, or you can kind of have it at an angle, and increase the thickness a little bit for his printer. Uses the same or different magnets, but very similar, and that's sweet to see. Folks are remixing this one. Very cool. And then we got another remix, or kind of just a make. The Halo Energy Sword. This was a really fun one we did back in 2016, and it's always nice to see makes of it, especially when they do some light painting photography. That looks so dope. And there's a full video documenting his process, and it's really nice because he says he shows his mistakes and you can learn from them. So it's always nice to see that.
I'm always happy when our projects from how long ago still work.
They still work, yeah.
Yay.
Look at it.
And I think
on a CR10 Cruelty.
Oh,
how about
yeah.
that? Huh. Excellent.
And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, Arduino code still works, so we'll have to do an update at some point to have sound effects and maybe some updates to the CAD. I don't remember what I made this in.
The blue feather sense is like our next go-to product, I think, for all props moving forward, because it has the accelerometer built in. It has Bluetooth connectivity right off the bat. It has the LiPo charger, so you get all that in one PCB. You don't really need the prop maker feather wing. That's really ideal if you're using like the M4 Express, but the feather sense.
I like that. All the space available inside there will now help it with acoustics.
Speaker,
having the speaker make
MP3s.
it sound louder.
Oh boy, this can be great.
So we'll definitely rejoin this. And now, as we're talking about that, I can remember this was the first project that we used Fusion 360's. We did the what's it called, the
foam sculpting,
free form sculpting tools inside of Fusion. This was the first project for that. I think one of the first projects too.
Yeah, that's a great. Can't really zoom in.
When did we post this?
Where or when?
No, when did we put? What year
it says
was
January 28, 2016.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah,
sounds right.
Right, and right. Light swords, the best.
Yes. Devo was saying anything can be made better with LEDs.
And CircuitPython.
Yeah. Now let's go ahead and go through some of the comments here. Just everybody, Bruce and Devo talking about LEDs and how much they reduce the cost savings for electricity. Yes.
Yeah,
we recently just moved in and we replaced every single bulb inside this house. It's a newer home, and I could not believe that everything was fluorescent.
Well, they got it from the garbage, and let's
drove me nuts. We had to buy so many packs of the LED bulbs. Yeah, that definitely. I don't know what the cost would have been without them, but yeah, it definitely saves a lot of money switching over. And they're nice and cool too.
Yeah. Okay. Well. We invite you folks to come on tonight because we have a show and tell tonight.
No, we do not.
Oh my God,
do we? Do we?
thought we
No, I
did.
think the sermon. Okay, yeah.
We do.
You're right.
We don't have Ask an Engineer today.
Yes.
I'm almost there.
Correct.
Show and tell. Come on by. I think Lamar and Phil are hosting it, right? Because John Park is
so.
doing the Ask an Engineer slot. He's using it for an unboxing of AdaBox.
Yay.
So shout out to all the folks who subscribe to AdaBox. And if you want to share your projects or share your AdaBox, come on by and show it off tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The invite link to our StreamYard live stream will be posted in the live broadcast chat around 10 minutes before 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So around 6:50-ish, we'll post that up so folks can get their cameras set up. Anybody's free to do so, can come on. There's a slot max of 10 people, but as folks show, they'll jump off and allowing more folks to come in. So you can come in that way. It's a full hour long, so you have plenty of time to kind of share your project or projects.
Or it could be a tour of your workshop or anything else that's being worked on.
Yeah.
Always welcome. Doesn't
I
have
like
to
tips,
be
tools, and things.
electronics,
that,
but definitely
I haven't seen.
crafts. Anything that's crafty is always
Yeah.
welcome.
We want inspirational stuff. All right, and then as you said, AdaBox is going to be at 8 p.m. And then you guys can chat with John in the chat room when
It'll be a
he's
live
talking
stream.
about the projects.
Tons of projects, and we won't give it away. You can check out the Learn guides, the new ones that were just recently published, if you want to start checking out all the projects for this quarter's AdaBox. And don't forget to subscribe. It's at adabox.com. I think all the slots might be filled, but if anybody drops off, you will be notified when seats open.
Cool. All right, other shows from the Desk of Lady Ada is back in full swing effect. Happens every Sundays in the afternoons, in the evenings. I'm not exactly sure what time. Maybe we'll get a banner update, but
Definitely want to make sure that you click on the bell icon on YouTube so you can get notified every single streaming service is used when the shows are going on. So one of those, should get a notification for one of those when our shows go live.
Every Sunday evening, so check it out. John continues to do the weekly workshop every Thursday, that's tomorrow, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Check it out.
Tons of really cool projects coming up, so make sure you are subscribed.
Yep. Just a quick kind of note, programming note on John's Make Code Live.
Coming back
those
soon.
will resume when
Coming back soon.
Yeah, coming back soon. Yeah. Okay. That is going to do it for the show, folks. We do this one every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then on Thursdays, we do blog posts of all the different projects that we find.
I've thought about doing Thursdays again, but it's a nice little time off.
Yeah.
Getting everything
We're
done.
situated. We're
fast.
just, our circadian rhythm is like really set for Wednesdays. I don't know.
I like finishing work earlier in the week.
Okay, well said. Is that all the things?
Yeah, I'm excited to start on the some of these other projects. So
Yeah,
with that, tune in tonight, and remember, everybody,
To make
a great day.
Bye, folks. We'll see you guys later
Bye.
on tonight. Bye-bye.